Good afternoon, everyone. Today's Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. The time is 2:01 p.m. I'm calling our weekly business meeting to order. Attending are Commissioners Leslie Brooks and Filios, and I'm going to ask Jerry Johnson to lead us in the pledge. Caught you by surprise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay then, so moving on, first item is our consent calendar.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on our business meeting agenda for March 3rd, 2020.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Moving on to the payables list.
I move that we approve the payables for the week of February 24th through 28th, 2020 in the amount of $265,991.58, along with jury panel payments in the amount of $2,214.51.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Motion carried. Do we have any changes to the agenda? I hear of none, so moving on to the first of our potential action items. Item number 1, contract with CXT Cheyenne Soquet Shower House for the RV Park Phase 3, Sourcewell Resource Management Office. Kim, will you be doing this?
Yes, I will. Kim
Welcome
Riley.
back.
Thank you. Kim Riley for the record. This is the shower house for the RV park, the third phase, which is grant funded. We came to you prior with authorization to have this be owner supplied, which resulted in a significant savings. So this is the actual contract now, which has been reviewed by legal.
Okay, any questions?
Nope.
Motion?
I move that we approve the contract for the CXT Cheyenne Showcase Shower House for the RV Park Phase 3 with Sourcewell.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 2, professional services contract, collection of unpaid accounts, Lineberger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson LLP for District Court.
Hi, Kally, I'm with District Court. We were before the board a couple weeks ago to terminate 2 of our previous vendors, so now we're here asking that our newest vendor, Lineberger, take over as our new vendor. They will be taking on any accounts a year or older, or some of our harder to collect on accounts. Then everything that's a year or newer, we'll still collect in-house with the new payment plans and further.
Okay, any change to the payment?
They actually do charge a lower fee
Oh, okay.
that will hopefully help us in collecting more from our clients, but we also receive a higher amount too, so it's kind of a double win.
But we're not
Wonderful.
paying them anything. They're collecting their fee from the.
From the client?
For the percentage, correct.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of a sliding scale as far as the percentages go for the older accounts or ones that they work with. They receive a lesser percentage.
Understood. Motion?
I move that we approve the professional services contract for the collection of unpaid accounts with Lineberger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson LLP.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 3, addendum for stop-loss rate cap guarantee, Regents Blue Shield of Idaho, Human Resources, along with Scott Burkhardt from Alliant. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and introduce it. We have the stop-loss rate gap guarantee addendum before the board. It commences January 1st, 2020 through January 31st, 2020. It has been reviewed by legal. In it, which I kind of freaked out when I saw them, the renewal indicates no greater than an increase of 50% to our stop-loss attachment point covered unit costs. So we thought it was important for Scott to come in and explain this and talk us off the ledge.
It is a scary sounding document. Hi, it's Scott Burkhardt with Alliant. This is actually just a protective feature that Alliant negotiates in our proprietary stop-loss contracts. Just a refresher, the stop-loss insurance that we purchase for the self-funded plan represents about 12% of the benefits budget. It's about $1 million a year. So and it's becoming more and more frequent, if a large diagnosis comes on the plan that's ongoing, let's say $1 million a year, well, you're kind of at the time at the mercy of the stop-loss carrier for your rate increase with very few options. So what we structure in is a 50% rate cap, which says they cannot, doesn't say they will increase you 50%, they can't increase you more. And this actually came into play in the first year that we had this with the county, and it saved the county about $150,000 to $200,000 in that year because we had that cap in there. So, and again, then the following year, our increase dropped way down, but this is just a protective feature. Scary sounding, but a great feature for the county to have. So.
Okay. You're okay, Dorothy? Sylvia?
I thought it was a typo. Or I hoped it was a typo.
So you have an
but-
excuse.
Yeah, no, but Scott
Okay.
explains it very well, and it's
Okay.
actually a good thing, so we're good.
Any questions for Scott?
No?
Motion?
I move that we approve the addendum to the stop-loss rate cap guarantee with Regents Blue Shield of Idaho.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 4, a memorandum of understanding, also known as an MOU with Coeur d'Alene Eagles Lodge, Office of Emergency Management.
Tiffany Westbrook for the record. This is simply a renewal of an MOU between the county and Coeur d'Alene Lodge to utilize their facility in the need that we need to evacuate the juvenile justice center.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding with the Coeur d'Alene Eagles Lodge and Office of Emergency Management.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 5, consideration of bid for parks and, park and walkways? Okay. I'm looking for waterways, but is it walkways?
It's walkways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that describes the property.
Oh, okay. Block 3 of McGuire Estates, okay, AIN 335534, per resolution 2020-08, community development. Pat, were you gonna talk to this?
I can talk to this. This is a bid on the pocket park that's inside the McGuire Estates subdivision. David Callahan and I have discussed with you several times, and he did adopt that resolution to declare it an odd lot and offer it to the neighbors. And so apparently we've gotten a bid for that purpose.
Okay. Are we doing anything with the bid?
Just, I would just open it, read it, and then refer
Oh,
it
here it
to
is.
my community development and myself for review, and then we come back next week and determine whether to accept or reject it.
All right, there is a cashier's check. Let's see, there's a couple of them. 2 cashier's checks, both in the amount of $3,250. And this bid is from Chris and Stacy Hudson and Craig Goodall and Audrey Francis for the Block 3 of McGuire Estates. And I would move that we acknowledge the bid and that it be sent to the Treasurer's Office, Community Development, and Legal for review.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 6, request for exception to policy number 120, adjustment to status of building inspector, plans examiner for community development. Is it Mary or is it John? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, John Mills, building official. First of all, Commissioner Duncan, thank you for helping pave the way to get this on today's agenda on a relatively short notice. A couple of weeks ago, we came to the board for authorization for a new building inspector plans examiner position, which was approved at that time. The person who has applied and we would like to hire in it is currently drawing Percy retirement benefits, and therefore under Percy regulations is limited to either a part-time or a 5-month on, 1 month complete separation and then repeat that. We would rather have the 5 months on, 1 month off. Part-time doesn't really help us as far as inspection help because of the time frame involved. Going to this status change, which would be a temporary status instead of the full-time, reduces the expenditures of the county by, on an annualized basis, by over $20,000. What we're looking for additionally, and that's where the exception to 120 goes, with this individual's qualifications and the fact that he would not be drawing any vacation pay, he would not accrue any other benefits on that, and he will be electing to not take health insurance. The reduction, and that is what is reflected on the last page of the annualized for this, including what we're looking at as a differential pay to increase the 95% of median to $2 an hour more than that.
Without getting into specifics and forcing us into executive session, you want to just mention his licensing?
He is currently holding 30 ICC and IAPMO certifications. He has 15 years experience in building inspection. One of his certifications is one that is held by approximately 800 people worldwide in the ICC system, which is Master Code Official.
Okay, appreciate it. Potential savings?
Approximately,
Was it 20?
figured it out, 23,800 and some odd.
And that's annualized?
That's annualized,
Okay.
yes.
HR comments? You okay? Kim?
I'm fine, I'll speak to it. We're fine with it, with the board's approval. He would be coming in at about 103% of market, but based on his credentials, that's something that would, if the board would approve it, that's reasonable.
Okay.
I think my, the problem I have with it is does not work long-term as far as, I would like to see, with this hiring, sorry, I would like to see you still recruit, because I don't know how long, if somebody's already retired, how long they're gonna be interested in staying. So I personally would like to see more longevity pursued. Does that make sense? And it does also impact other departments. And I know that John had mentioned that the inspectors are willing to take up the slack, the 1 month off. I'm just concerned that with our continued growth, that this is only gonna be a Band-Aid and it's not gonna help you long-term. So that's where I came with it's just not the best situation. And I'm fine with hiring 5 months, I'm fine with, doing the $2 extra, but I would like to see continual recruitment and see if you can get somebody who maybe could stay on full-time and not have to have the 1 month off every 5 months.
And if I may respond on that. I understand your concern there. However, having a person with this caliber and experience to assist in the development of our younger inspectors, I feel any amount of time that we can have him more than outweighs any inconvenience of the 1 month. And historically, in recruitment for a building inspector position, the last time out, we had it open for several months and had 6 applications, of which none of them were fully qualified. The availability of highly qualified people in this area is non-existent.
Sure.
We have other jurisdictions in the area right now that are either currently recruiting or getting ready to at a higher pay rate.
Sure.
I think that having this person online almost immediately, the other factor that comes into play is without somebody coming in, we've already got one person on leave of absence. potentially another month and a half. My senior inspector could be up to another month before she is released to go in the field. And starting Tuesday afternoon of next week, I've got a third person who will be out for at least 8 weeks under
Right.
FMLA
Right.
issues. So I would strongly request something immediately, because I think the benefit far outweighs any
Sure.
potential problems.
No, and I agree, you guys definitely need somebody right now. And I didn't realize that you were intending this person to train up and to maybe get your other inspectors more certified. So that helps.
Bill?
John said it all.
Okay. You've convinced me. Motion?
I move that we approve the request to exception policy 120 and the adjustment to status of building inspector, plans examiner, as noted in the memo from John Mills, building official.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mary. Item number 7, 5310, grant application for buses. Resource Management Office, Kim?
Yes, again, Kim Riley for the record. This is requesting authorization to apply for ITD 5310 grant funds for 2 paratransit buses. The amount would be $136,000 of their money, $34,000 cash match, which comes from the local jurisdictions.
As in the cities.
Correct.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the 5310 grant application for the buses.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 8, 5310, grant application for purchase of service for research, RMO. Kim?
Yes, this is similar, it's answering the same call for projects from KMPO. We currently fund our Ring-A-Ride program with these funds, so this is for the next 5-year window. The budget included in this application shows 3 options, 2-year, 3-year, and 5-year. We were asked to provide that breakdown by KMPO.
Okay. So this is an application for a grant.
Correct, it's the same as the purchase of service for our paratransit, which we currently utilize.
Understood. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the 5310 grant application for the purchase of service.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 9, SFY 21, Substance Abuse Block Grant, application, juvenile diversion, Idaho Office of Drug Policy, RMO. Kim again. Where is it, Kim?
Actually,
Kelly
no.
Jo will speak.
Okay,
I'm Kelly
go
Jo
ahead.
Hilliard with Kootenai County Juvenile Diversion.
Okay.
And I'm the one that teaches this class that we fund. We've asked for this grant application. It's a grant that we have had renewed and repeated for years now, probably close to 20.
Okay.
Different Office of Drug Policy is putting it out there. It allows us to teach a drug and alcohol class throughout the year that we partner with the community. So it's not just juvenile justice kids, it's school kids, everything. And it funds that and funds the training to maintain our education in that field. And there is no matching funds, and it's just a request so that we can continue to do the service we do.
Okay, once again, it's a grant application.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the SFY 21 Substance Abuse Block Grant application and with the Idaho Office of Drug Policy and our juvenile diversion.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Motion carried, I'm ready to run ahead. Sorry about that. Item number 10, request to restore budget funds, treasurer's remodel funds, auditor, Dena?
Thank you, Commissioner. Dena Darrow for the record. This is on behalf of the Treasurer's Office. At the end of fiscal year 19, there were some capital funds left over in the Treasurer's budget. We did not roll those forward, and we needed to because their remodel was not yet complete. So they're completing their remodel now, so we asked that those funds in the amount of $5,387 be restored to their budget so that they can pay for their remodel. There was a delay in completion, which is why the funds needed to be rolled.
Understood. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the request to restore budget funds for the treasure remodel in the amount of $5,387.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 11, Resolution 2020-21, Fiscal Year 2020 Capital Budget Reallocation. Auditor Dena again.
So this is a housekeeping item that we covered in yesterday's status update. This formalizes the movement of jail expansion surplus funds to another project code to do the Compton Sewer Project. So we would take, there's currently $201,703 sitting in the jail account, and we would want to transfer $100,000 over to make sure we had enough for the Compton Sewer Project. It's properly using the funds, we're not diverting funds from,
Okay, that's what I was-
from one to the other, and we're formalizing via resolution.
And then my understanding, this is probably a question for Mr. Riley as well, we're looking at probably the next 60 days to have that jail expansion closed out. We should have all the storage tank bills in and all that?
Yeah, I'm chasing that down.
Okay.
There's one more electrical bill, because when they ordered the fuel tank, it's outside, it's diesel, nobody got heaters. So I'm like, you have to have heaters, so we gotta get some wiring for the heaters, but yeah, we're
Okay.
close. And then I wanted to say also, the bids came in for the RV park, and right now, and I have to go through them with legal, the lowest responsive bidders piece on the Compton, which was part of that, right now is under 50,000.
Yes.
So I think there'll be plenty of money if we move it over there, but I would suggest to just move the 100,
Okay.
because it's a sewer project and I don't know what's gonna happen once we start digging.
No, that was my
There's no
thought.
arrowheads or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but the bids came in good, so
Yeah.
I mean, we could even save more money than what we originally thought. And we still have a cap fee,
Yeah.
maybe, we'll see how that works.
It's the
Yeah.
city. The city of Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, yeah.
Dena?
So any other money that's left unspent in these two accounts would go back to assigned fund balance at the end of the year.
Okay. Did someone else have a question? Oh, Barb, I thought you had a question, okay. So that's it then for our action items.
Can I
Public-
make a motion?
You gotta
So
make
we
a-
Oh,
have to-
yeah, go right ahead.
Yes, please.
I move that we approve
See, this is what
resolution.
happens with these
I
codes.
like it when you're in a hurry, Chris.
I move that we approve resolution number 2020-21, which is the fiscal year 2020 capital budget reallocation.
So let's go home. No, I second the motion, of course.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. That's the end of our action items, finally, anyway. Public comment? None, 2:25, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
It's a long meeting.